Hey guys, it's Tom from winrumors.com. Just looking at the Nokia Lumia 800 today. Now the first thing you'll notice about the device is it's got a curved AMOLED, really bright display there. Now if we look to the actual side of the device, we've got at the bottom there, we've got the camera button, which is sort of a standard feature on the Windows phones. And we've got the volume at the top and the power in the middle, and we'll see the camera on the bottom there. Now to the rear of the device, we've actually got the 8 megapixel camera with the LED flash, and it continues that sort of curved design across the device. And at the bottom we've got a rather large speaker there, which outputs fairly decent volume on music tracks, etc. Now at the actual top of the device we've got the headphone port, and we've also got a strange contraption here. It's basically where you can open the micro USB port here, and you can also slide this section of it across to reveal the micro SIM holder. So that's where you just put your micro SIM in there, and the device doesn't take standard size SIMs, so it's literally only micro SIMs in there. Okay, so we're going to move on and have a look at the Nokia Drive application. So this is Nokia's sort of 3D turn-by-turn navigation, which ships free in the Lumia. So you can see the 3D sort of map there. You've also got the option of changing that to a 2D, which is a more sort of flat interface to the mapping there. Now, if we go in and set a destination, we can sort of see how this actually works. So you get your sort of recent locations which you can select from, and then you just literally select drive to, and it'll give you an overview, and then you can start. And so all the navigation is voice guided. You can easily zoom in and out of the maps and sort of navigate your way before you actually get to that part of the destination. Now you can also manage the actual maps that are on the device too. So you can add new ones. So if we go in here and go into Africa, and we'll add in Angola. That's a 12 megabyte download. So that will literally download it for Nokia's servers, and then the map will be installed and ready to be used. Now once that's installed, it'll actually be selectable in the maps interface there. Now this is particularly useful for those who sort of travel abroad, so you can install multiple maps there. Now one thing that we've noticed is that if we switch the flight mode on, or we don't have a data connection, Nokia Drive doesn't actually function, so it will literally give you an error message, and you'll see that shortly. And it'll say that you need a network connection. Now you do need a network connection to actually navigate as well. It doesn't appear to download the actual map data, but you will need it to actually navigate to a destination. Okay, so just a quick demo of how this works in the car with Nokia Drive.
After 700 meters, keep right.
So you could hear the voice there. Up the top you've obviously got the directions, and the voice will direct you turn by turn. If you tap on the map, you'll actually get the ability to then zoom in, pinch the zoom, and sort of navigate around the map area there. Quite handy if you want to look at sort of places of interest nearby. Now in the settings, you can actually change the map to 2D or 3D, and you can obviously change it onto the night mode here as well. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Nokia Music, which is the free streaming service that Nokia provides on the Lumia Windows phones. So you can see basically it's like a mixed radio, so they'll stream any particular music that you select depending on a category. So we go to pop in the last year. It'll basically create a playlist and then play that music via Wi-Fi or a 3G connection. So you will need a network connection for this to actually function correctly. Now you can obviously skip out of the actual app. You can turn the device off, and the music will continue playing. Now the album art won't actually display on the lock screen, but we can go back in. The album art will change as well if you go back into the app. Now you can actually skip onto the next song there. So it just literally randomly selects music. There doesn't seem to be any way to sort of create a playlist on here. It's literally just a mix radio. and you've got the option to actually download music and to look at local gigs as well. So just turn this down a bit. So that's pretty much Nokia Music. Okay, and the final application that Nokia has included is the App Highlights application. Now this is pretty much an extension to the marketplace, so you can see here there's the top sort of featured applications that Nokia's put in there. They've also put a starter kit in that they feel people should obviously download those applications. They've also got application notifications, so if there's a new app, you'll be notified. They've also built in like similar sort of marketplace features, and they've built in a surprise me function. Now what this will allow you to do is literally you'll just be able to shake your phone. So if we shake, you'll get like AccuWeather, ITN, and Wikipedia. Fairly gimmicky feature, but you know, a fun way to discover new applications, I guess. Okay, so here's Nokia's Windows Phone tune. Now, one of the things that's actually missing on the Lumia at the moment is the ability to turn on the internet sharing option. So you'll see it's not actually listed in the settings menu here. We'd expect that Nokia will turn this on in a future update. Now, if we move over to the actual camera of the Lumia, Nokia has obviously shipped the sort of standard ISO settings and the exposure settings, but there's no panoramic and burst mode that's found on some of the HTC devices. So if we switch across to the Titan here, and we'll go into the camera, and what you'll see in the actual menu item of the camera is that there's a panorama and a burst shots feature there. HTC have also enabled the internet sharing option on Titan here. So if we take a closer look at the Lumia 800 here, what you'll be able to see is the single piece polycarbonate body of the 800 and the curved display. This is an AMOLED 3.7 inch device. So you can see it's fairly sleek. It's got some sharp edges at the top and the bottom of the device. But overall it's very rounded and feels very good in the hand. Now if we take the HTC radar and we compare, you can see they're around about the same sort of thickness there, and very similar dimensions in terms of height as well. Now if we take a look at the actual front, you'll see that the radar's got a slightly bigger screen. I think it's got 3.8 inch display, but overall they're very similar in terms of size. You can see from the top there, fairly similar. Now obviously the back, the radar's got a 5 megapixel and the Lumia's got an 8 megapixel, so the camera's a lot better on the Lumia. Now compared to the Titan, now the Titan is a 4.7 inch device, so you can see that it's massive in comparison. The thickness of the device is fairly similar, but you can obviously see the how big the Titan is. Now they've both got rear 8 megapixel cameras that are very similar. But overall, I'd say that the Lumia feels better in the hand.